All right, guys, so our Baltimore Ravens strap up against these Buffalo Bills in less than 24 hours. Man, I am absolutely fired up to see the Baltimore Ravens strap up in a regular season game going into Buffalo. This game has so much at stake, so much on the line. This game right here in week 1 could determine who wins the number 1 seed in the AFC. Remember, if the Baltimore Ravens and the Bills have the same record at the end of the season, it's going to come down to this head-to-head tiebreaker. Plus, the Bills have a very easy cakewalk type of schedule throughout the year in a pretty soft division. The Baltimore Ravens have a much tougher schedule this year and are playing, within their first 6 weeks, I think like 5 division winning, playoff teams, while the Bills, have some easier teams. So this game is huge. There's big time implications, man. As you guys can see, we're not in the normal setup, but we just moved in. It's been about a week since we've posted a video, a little bit longer, because we've been settling into this house, just moved to Pennsylvania. So closer to Baltimore now. We were in North Carolina, but still working on the studio. We're going to get rid of this mirror and stuff in the background. But I just had to come on here with you guys and just talk about our excitement for this game, this matchup against these Buffalo Bills. So, man, hold on, baby. It's been a while, but don't think that I have forgotten about the purple shades. We have not forgotten about the purple shades, man. So here's my purple shades take. I don't just think the Baltimore Ravens are going to win this game handedly in Buffalo. I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to embarrass the Bills in their home stadium with a 2+ touchdown type of victory in Buffalo, man. I don't think this team is all that they're cracked out to be. They could very well make me eat my words, but as a looking at the last 2 matchups, the Baltimore Ravens, to be 100% honest, man, I know if a Bills fan is watching this, they're not going to like it, but here's the truth. This is 100% hard, cold facts right here. In the last 2 matchups against the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens have outgained them 843 yards to 509 yards. We're talking about over 300-yard difference. The Baltimore Ravens have been able to easily move the ball up and down the field. They also averaged 30 points per game against the Buffalo Bills. They've had 60 points in the last 2 matchups to the Buffalo Bills' 37 points. So they've nearly doubled them in points. They have dominated them in yardage. The only reason the Buffalo Bills were even in that game in Buffalo in the playoffs is because the Baltimore Ravens turned the ball over not once, not twice, but 3 times and forced 0 turnovers while also having like 12 penalties for over 135 penalty yards. The Baltimore Ravens self-destructed, turned the ball over. You can't win football games like that. Now, we got to give credit to the Bills for forcing the turnovers. They were there at the right time, the right moment, and, were opportunistic with the easy turnovers that the Baltimore Ravens gave via stupid mistakes, and also were aided by a lot of penalty yards. However, when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, how they match up with the Buffalo Bills, they can stop the Bills in the run game. They can stop them through the air. The Bills don't have a lot of threats through the air. I mean, Khalil Shakir, Palmer, Coleman, they're solid receivers, but none of them scare you. The last time the Baltimore Ravens played the Buffalo Bills, they didn't have their number 1 wide receiver, and then their number 2 wide receiver went down with injury, and Lamar Jackson still marched up and down the field on a snowy day in Buffalo in the playoffs with his top receiver being like Tylan Wallace, and would have sent that game to overtime if Mark Andrews hadn't dropped that football. I think they're both good football teams, but the Baltimore Ravens, the way they match up with the Bills, I don't think this game will be very close. In fact, if the Baltimore Ravens would have just had an equal turnover ratio or maybe turned the ball over once or twice, they would have easily beat the Bills in the playoffs on the road in the snow. Yes, so I know that's so some Ravens fans, you might be saying, dude, like, you got to give the Bills more respect. I think Josh Allen is incredible. I think they have some playmakers on defense. However, their secondary seems like a weakness to me. Their safeties have issues. Their Maxwell Harrison, their rookie first-round cornerback, is on the IR. Tre'Davious White did not practice all throughout the week and is considered doubtful. So the Bills are going to be a little bit thin in the secondary, and the Ravens will be fully loaded at the wide receiver position with a healthy Zay Flowers, a healthy Rashad Bateman, and a healthy DeAndre Hopkins, just to name the top three. We also have a fully healthy defensive line that, Travis Jones was dealing with injury throughout last year. He's back and fully healthy. We also have Matabike, Van Noy, Owe, Mike Green. I think this pass rush is going to give Josh Allen some problems. And the secondary with a healthy Jair Alexander, Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, Malachi Starks, Kyle Hamilton. I just think there's so much bad taste in the Ravens' mouth for how they finished the season last year, knowing they were 100% capable of winning the Super Bowl, and they've been so close throughout the last few years. And every single year in the playoffs, they had the number one seed in the AFC, lost in Baltimore. The next year, they fall short against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, and I think they're ready to get over the hump. Derrick Henry, racked up a lot of yardage in those last two matchups with these Buffalo Bills. And I don't even think the Ravens will need to rely and lean on Derrick Henry, although they probably will run the football a good amount. We also have a healthy Keaton Mitchell and Justice Hill. And I think it's going to be too much weaponry for the Buffalo Bills defense to handle. And I think we'll be able to slow down the Bills enough on offense with our defense that it's not going to be very close. They may hang in there for a little bit, but I think the floodgates are going to open. That's just, of course, guys, that's my Ravens Homer Purple Shades opinion. I think our Baltimore Ravens will put up at least 28 points, but they might even break 30, man. I'm really excited for this football game. I just wanted to hop on here and hype y'all up and talk some Ravens ball with you guys real quick. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. We're going to work on getting this studio set up, kind of perfecting the sound and the lighting and stuff a little bit more. So stay tuned for that. And I love you guys. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.
When he wasn't looking, he ran me over.